Tree Talking Time is brought to you by Conkey's Outdoors. Get all your hound hunting needs at conkeys.com. Welcome to Tree Talking Time, where we talk all things tree dogs, from the smallest fights to the largest hounds, treating squirrels to bears and everything in between. And from time to time, we might even run a little fast game. Welcome back to another episode of Tree Talking Time. This one is from the vault, and honestly, it is probably one of my favorites. It's talking to Don Page from Idaho. Don was 90 years old when we recorded this, and unfortunately, he passed away not too long after we recorded this. So, this is in memory of Don. We talk about his Stevens curs and hunting big game with him. Hope you enjoy.
Yeah, I've had them for about between 20 and 25 years, and they're a good bear dog, and they're a good mountain lion dog, and they're a good bobcat dog and a coon dog.
Okay.
And they're just a real nice little dog, I think.
Mm-hmm. Now, where did you get your initial Stevens?
Pardon?
Where did you get your first ones?
Let's see. From a guy back in Tennessee, Stacy Anderson.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
he brought me a pup out.
Did you get a lot of dogs through the years, or did you breed most of your own dog through the years?
I'm hard of hearing. You'll have to slow down a little bit.
Okay. Through the years, as you were hunting, did you buy a lot of dogs, or did you just breed your own dogs?
I just bred my own.
Okay.
So I didn't buy those dogs. Yeah, Stacy, he bought. No, I'll take that back. The first one I ever got, as I read about these little dogs, and I called a guy down in Junior Settles, and he said, I said I'd like to try one of them as send one out here, and he said, well, I'm going to raise a litter here, and I'll save you one. So my mother was still living back in the Ozarks. That's where I was raised.
Okay.
And I went back there, and I called him, and he said, I got you a pup here. So I brought her out here, and she lived to be 16, and without a doubt, she's the best little bear dog I ever owned.
Wow.
And she only weighed about between 30 and 35 pounds.
A lot of grit?
A lot of grit. She got hurt 3 times. I didn't think she would make it, but I babied her through it, and she made it, and she lived to be 16.
That's pretty good for a gritty bear dog.
But what's that?
I said that's pretty good for a gritty bear dog.
Yeah. Well, she like I say, she was hurt 3 different times, but you're going to find that in any strain of a hound or a cur. Mm-hmm. You're going to find there's some gritty ones in that bunch. Then you're going to find some that ain't so gritty. Now, I expect there's some of these Stevens cur that's not gritty. I don't know about that. But the ones I bred myself, they were gutty. Mm-hmm. I mean, not to a killing point, although I had one killed. Now, I don't know if the bear killed him or a wolf.
Okay.
But one of them did, and I would say the bear did if I was guessing.
Okay. So you said you've had them for 25 years.
Yeah.
So you got your dogs, what, mid-90s then?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
What were you hunting before that?
Where are you living? Who am I talking to?
I live in Pennsylvania.
Oh, I see. Uh-huh. Sure.
But I bear hunt a little bit in West Virginia and and so I've been just looking at different curs that guys that run on big game, and I was talking to a guy from California, and he talked to you recently, and so he gave me your name and number.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a good little dog. I've had hounds all my life, and my granddad had them, and dad had them. I was raised with them back in the Ozarks, but mm-hmm. I switched over, like I say, between 20 and 25 years ago to these little curs because I think they're a fast little dog. Most of them, they run good. They run to catch.
Yeah.
And some of them, I like the dog about 40 pounds. Now, I've had some here that only weighed 30 pounds.
Yeah.
But I like that size of dog. To me, 30, 35 pounds, 35 little, 30 is too light, but then,
Mm-hmm.
but that little dog I got, that little one, I called her Debbie, and boy, I'll tell you what, she was a good little dog, and they make a hell of a good mountain lion dog, cougar dog,
Mm-hmm.
bobcat. Yeah, they do.
Now, do you find
And you would be surprised the nose they got on them.
that's what I was just
I
about to
don't know
ask?
how Hugh Stevens ever put that kind of nose on them, but they really surprised me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they sure did.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to ask, is what kind of nose they have. Because most curs, tend to be known for having a hotter nose and not really being well known for
Yeah, I
running
know
cold
it.
tracks.
See, I had a couple of mountain curs before, but they didn't suit me.
Okay.
They didn't suit me at all. But these dogs, these Stevens cur, and I'll tell you, there's a guy up and lives in Montana. I lived up in Montana for 16 years, hunted with him a lot. But his name is Glen Gray, and you can call him up. He got a couple, three from me, and he's had them now for about, I don't know, 18, 20 years, a long time.
Yeah.
About as long as I have. But he runs nothing but mountain lion.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, he comes out here and hunts with me on bear.
Gotcha.
But that's his main, is cougar.
Yeah.
And bobcat. But not too much bobcats. Well, he trees one when he runs across the track.
Mm-hmm.
See, the cat hunting is the winter time or so on. That's our sport in the winter time.
Yeah.
In the summertime, it's bears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, we're a little different here. We run bears in the summer through the winter and into December.
Yeah. Well, we run them up till they go in,
Mm-hmm.
and they're in hibernation for a while. And then we switch right over to cats. We run bobcats and coons and mountain lion through the winter,
Mm-hmm.
And, boy, you'd really be surprised at what nose they got on them. Them little cur dogs, them little Stevens.
Yeah.
Boy, I never owned but them 3 mountain curs.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only curs I ever owned. I thought a cur dog was just an old mixed up dog, didn't mount too much because, the cur name don't help them much.
And especially,
and,
that's what they were.
that?
That's what they were 60, 70 years ago. Well, I guess a little bit longer than that. More like 80 years ago.
Yeah. But, boy, they've really bred them up, good. They're a good little dog, I think. I like them, But I've never tried the rest of them except them mountain curs. And I just never tried the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
But Glen Gray, he trees around, I'd say 25 to 30 mountain lions a year.
Nice.
Yeah. And he treats bobcats too.
Mm-hmm.
And you can talk to him about them. We was talking one day, and he said, I believe them little dogs, he's run these cats for the last, years and years. He said, I believe them little dogs has got a better nose than any hound I ever had.
Really?
Now, you can talk to him about that,
Mm-hmm. Oh,
but that's what he told me.
Yeah.
He said, I don't think I ever had a hound that had the nose these little dogs.
Very interesting.
I mean, them little buggers will put them on an old cold track and they'll grub it out and get it going, free it, And that's what I like about it.
Conkey's Outdoors is proud to be a sponsor of Tree Talking Time. Family, hunting, tradition is the Conkey's motto. They understand the importance of passing down the tradition of hound hunting. They are a family-owned business that treats you like family. They also understand the importance of having the gear you need when you need it. Conkey's carries everything for your next hunt, and it ships to your door quick. They also offer great warranties on all tracking systems and financing options. Check them out at conkeys.com. You can also use the code TreeTalkingTime5 in all caps to save as well. Now, did you find most of your dogs preferred bear or cats, one or the other?
I don't really know. That's a hard question for me. They do pretty good on both of them, but I just couldn't hardly say. They do.
Okay.
I just hate to say one way or the other, but they do pretty good on both animals,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, did you keep a
Yeah,
pretty
you ought to
big
try
pack of them?
you. Pardon?
Did you keep a pretty big pack of them, or just a couple?
Well, on a bear, you need 4 or 5 dogs. Because a lot of bears they'll be up on the ground
Mm-hmm.
and they won't climb.
Yeah.
And they'll just walk and fight. And these dogs, they'll stay, 2.5, maybe 3 hours on one. But some will climb after about 30 minutes or an hour. But after you get an old bear, the old ornery booger that won't, he ain't going to climb at all.
Yeah.
And what I like about these little dogs, a lot of hounds will stay for 8 and 10, 12, 14 hours on that walking bear.
Mm-hmm.
But these little dogs will stay for about 2 or 3 hours and they're out of there.
Okay.
I like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm.
Because when them other dogs, the hounds, all they're doing is just walking behind that bear barking at it,
Mm-hmm.
And they keep you out there 12, 14 hours, and then they're laid up for a couple of 3 days, you can't hurt them. But these little dogs ain't like that. After about 2 or 3 hours, they're out of there.
Yeah.
And I like that,
How old are you, Don?
I'm 90.
90. You still hunting?
Yeah, my grandson, he's at my old camp that I had for years up here. And he's got, he treats lots of bears, several bears, I think he's treated, it's been open now for about a month. I think he's treated about 35 or 40.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago I tried to call and get a hold of you, and you were up there with him, huh?
Yeah, I go up there to see him. I can't walk over about 100 yards.
Oh, okay.
And at my age, I can't do nothing. But I can go up there. I got 3 dogs here, and I take them up and run them with him. And I kind of drive around to where I can hear the race of the tree if they tree,
But I hope at 90 I'm still out there chasing dogs.
Well, I'll tell you what. I've had these hounds all my life. Like I say, I was raised with them back in the Ozarks, but it's just something I've loved to do all my life, and and my health started giving away on me when I hit about 85, and I can't do nothing. I just can't do anything.
Well, being able to get out there and just drive around something, that's for sure.
Yeah, and when I get up and start walking, that's where I get dizzy and I get sick.
Mm-hmm.
But I can still sit and drive for a while.
That's awesome. And
then I got a little scamp trailer I pull behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can lay down for a while, I'm all right. I'm good for an hour or so.
Okay.
So I take that little trailer and pull it behind me, and then when I get sick or something, I just pull over and lay up for about an hour.
There you go.
Yeah. That's about the only way I can work it.
Got to do what you got to do to get out there.
I'll tell you a guy the guy that breeds these dogs?
Who's that?
Jim Crump.
Jim Crump. Where's he from?
Tennessee.
Okay.
No, Kentucky. I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
He come out and hunted with me.
Mm-hmm.
I got a dog killed here. Like I say, I don't know if a wolf killed him or a bear, but he heard about it somewhere, and he called me up and he said, "Don, I heard you got a dog killed." And I said, "I did." And he was a real dog. I really liked him. And he said, "I got some pups to deliver out in there." He said, "Out of New Mexico." He said, "I'm going to bring you out a good young dog." So he did. He's about a year and a half old, and I tried to pay him for it, but he said, "No, I don't want to pay." He said, "I might want to come out and hunt with you," which he did.
Awesome.
And he's a hell of a nice guy. He is, And you can talk to him about a pup.
Mm-hmm.
A guy in the name of Mark Wilson, he used to breed these little Stevens, and him and his wife got a divorce. So some way Jim Crump took over Mark's breeding deal.
Okay.
And And I'll tell you, Mark raised some pretty gutty little dogs. He did. And I think Crump probably is breeding the same way he breeds. I don't know about that, but he's a guy that you want to talk to to get, if you want to get started in it. I don't ever have any pups in here,
Okay. You done that?
Yeah, I'm done with that.
I don't blame you. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is. I kind of enjoyed it, though, really, raising little puppies. I never gave her many.
Mm-hmm.
I breed an old female once a year or twice a year. So if I needed a pup, and I'd usually keep a couple and then give the others away or something to a good hunter. I'd rather give a hunter a pup and sell them to somebody that won't ever hunt them.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah. But I wish I could help you on a pup. But you like Jim Crump. I believe he's an honest guy. He's got a church down there in Kentucky, and like I say, he come out and hunted with me, and he's a nice guy. I like him.
Yeah. You got any good stories?
Do what now?
I said, do you have any good stories?
Yeah. I've here one after I got these little dogs. I knew I was trading several bears, 60, 70 a year. And I thought one year we were here 3 or 4 years ago, I thought, I had 7 of them little boogers. And boy, they were trained. And I traded 111 in one season.
Nice. That's pretty good.
It sounds like a bragging remark. I don't mean it to be that way. I just tell you that. I knew I was trading. I was trading 70 and 80 and 90, but I had never got to 100.
Yeah.
But I did then. Yeah.
What kind of hounds did you run?
Oh, I run plots and walkers, and just ever what I thought was if I needed a pup or two, it was a walker or a plot or a blue tick. I wasn't really particular about it.
Okay.
And I found that in these hounds, some guy wouldn't have a blue tick, some wouldn't have a walker. You know how that goes. Mm-hmm. Well, there ain't much difference in all them dogs except for their color.
Yep. No,
that's right.
I actually just had this conversation with a friend of mine. He's got some crossed up dogs, and a lot of them look like walkers. And he was joking and asked me if I needed a pup, and I said, I need something that doesn't look like a walker because I'm just not a fan of them dogs. I said, I realize there's not a difference between them. I said, I just don't like the look of them.
Yeah. Now, my grandson, he wants to get these little dogs. He hunted with me, such as, all his life, big enough to follow me. And he's about 32 or 3 now. He's got walker dogs mostly, but he wants to get these little black dogs, but he just can't seem to get it to getting one. I got one of his here now. It ain't gutty at all.
Okay.
And I took her and had her spayed because a guy wouldn't want a pup out of her because she ain't gutsy enough, And she wouldn't even bite a coon. She run and tree it, but she won't,
Yeah.
So, like I say, some of these dogs are gutsy, some of them ain't. I couldn't tell you the gutsy ones from the others, but I had some of the out of Junior Settle's dogs, but they were gutty. I mean, I only had that one killed.
Okay.
But I had some of them eat up pretty bad. Yeah. I had some eat up pretty bad, but
I know a lot of bear hunters that can't say that have been hunting for a good long while. So, I mean, unfortunately, it's just a hazard of the.
Come out here and I run coons back in the Ozarks in '53 to John Day, Oregon. I had 2 dogs. I had a walker and a black and tan. And in '53, that's when I started running these bears and mountain lions and bobcats, stuff like that. And I'm running pretty steady ever since.
That's awesome. Things were different back then, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Would you go back?
Come on out and go with me. We'll go up there and listen. Bring a dog. Throw a dog in the race.
Whereabouts in Idaho are you?
I'm about 25 miles would be northwest of Boise.
Okay.
I'm only 30 miles from the Oregon border.
Okay.
Across the Snake River. The Snake River divides Idaho and Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
And I lived in Oregon quite a lot. And then I was up in Montana.
Now, I haven't made it out west yet, but I'd love to. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate you taking my phone call. And man, I would love to get out there and see the little black dogs go one day.
Yeah, come on out. You see them. Well, I got 3 here, and Glenn, he comes out and hunts with me through the summer. He hasn't been down. See, in Montana, you used to couldn't run a bear with a dog.
Yep.
But now you can, so he'll be running some up there probably.
Probably.
You know? But he used to come down there and hunt with me a lot.
Awesome.
You know? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's good talking to you, so take care. And
good talking to you.
If I can help you anyway, I will.
Thank you very much. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Tree Talking Media. And until next time, keep them talking in the timber.